A young woman once walked into the most dangerous room in the world, knowing she might not walk out alive. No weapon, no army, no power, just courage. And one sentence that would echo through history: if I perish, I perish. This is the story of Esther, the woman who saved an entire nation, and the moment when courage changed history forever. Before she was queen, Esther was just an orphan girl. She had lost her parents. She had no royal blood, no political power, no influence. She was raised by her cousin Mordecai, a Jewish man living under the rule of the Persian Empire. In those days, the Persian king ruled 127 provinces. His name was Ahasuerus, and his word could decide life or death. No one could imagine that this orphan girl would one day stand in the center of a decision that would determine the future of an entire nation. One night, the king threw a massive royal banquet. But during the feast, his queen refused to obey his command. The king became furious. And just like that, the queen was removed. The empire needed a new queen. So messengers were sent across the land, searching for the most beautiful young women in the kingdom. And somehow, out of thousands of women, an orphan Jewish girl named Esther was chosen. But Esther had a secret. Mordecai told her something very important. Do not reveal that you are Jewish. So Esther became queen. But no one in the palace knew who she truly was. Not the king. Not the nobles. Not the officials. Her identity was hidden. And no one knew that one day, that secret would become the key to saving her people. But every great story has a villain. His name was Haman. He was powerful, proud, and dangerous. The king promoted Haman above all the officials. Everyone was commanded to bow before him. Everyone, except Mordecai. Mordecai refused to bow. And that single act of defiance filled Haman with rage. But Haman didn't just want revenge on one man. He wanted revenge on an entire people. The Jews. Haman approached the king with a terrible proposal. He told the king there was a group of people scattered throughout the empire. People who followed different laws. People who did not obey the king's commands. And he convinced the king to sign a decree. A law that could not be reversed. On a specific day, every Jew in the empire would be destroyed. Men, women, children, an entire nation, marked for death. When Mordecai heard the news, he tore his clothes. He covered himself in ashes. And he cried out in the streets. All across the empire, Jewish families began mourning. Fear spread everywhere. But Esther still didn't know the full story. Until Mordecai sent her a message. And the message would change everything. Mordecai asked Esther to do something terrifying. Go to the king. Beg him for mercy. Save your people. But there was a problem. A terrifying law. Anyone who approached the king without being invited would be executed. Unless the king extended his golden scepter. And Esther had not been summoned for 30 days. Going to the king could mean one thing. Death. Esther sent a message back to Mordecai. She explained the danger. But Mordecai replied with words that have echoed through history. He said, "Do not think that because you are in the king's house you alone will escape. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance will arise from another place. But who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this?" Esther realized something in that moment. Her crown was not an accident. Her position was not random. Her story was part of a bigger plan. So she sent a final message. Gather all the Jews. Fast for 3 days. Pray for me. Then she said the words that changed history. I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish. 3 days later, Esther put on her royal robes. She walked down the long palace hallway. Guards stood silently. Nobles watched. Every step felt heavier than the last. Because she knew, one decision from the king could end her life instantly. The doors opened, and Esther stepped into the throne room. The king looked up. The entire court held its breath. And then, the king extended his golden scepter. Esther was spared. But the story wasn't over. Soon the truth would be revealed.
My lord, I have come with a heavy heart.
Speak, Esther, you have my attention.
A grave injustice threatens our people. My lord, if it pleases you, spare my people.
What is your request? It shall be granted.
Haman's evil plan would collapse. And the nation marked for destruction would be saved. Because one woman chose courage over fear. The book of Esther never directly mentions the name of God. But his fingerprints are everywhere. In the timing. In the decisions. In the courage. And maybe the same is true in your life. Maybe the position you're in right now. The challenges you face. The opportunities in front of you are not random. Maybe you are exactly where you are meant to be for such a time as this.